61% of visitors leave a website in just 5 seconds if they don't find what they need. A statistic that hit home when I watched potential customers vanish from my own site. I remember staring at my analytics, wondering why my bounce rate was so high despite having what I thought was a great website. In today's video, I'm going to reveal the exact elements that determine whether visitors stay or leave during those crucial first 5 seconds. Through eye-tracking heat maps and real user feedback, we'll uncover the invisible patterns that drive visitors' behavior and how to transform your website into one that captivates immediately before that 5-second window closes. Did you know your website is being judged in less time than it takes to tie your shoes? That's right, visitors are making split-second decisions about your business before you've even had a chance to win them over. Let's look at what exactly happens in those crucial first 5 seconds. Here's something most small business owners get completely wrong. They spend weeks, sometimes months, obsessing over color palettes, fancy font combinations, and that perfect shade of blue for their buttons. But while you're busy perfecting those design elements, your visitors are looking for something completely different. The real problem isn't about having an aesthetically stunning website, it's about immediate clarity. Business owners often prioritize the wrong elements entirely, those intricate color schemes and elaborate font choices, when they should be focusing on what directly addresses visitors' needs and questions. This misplaced focus creates websites that might look pretty but fail to communicate what your business actually offers. Using specialized eye tracking software, we monitored exactly where visitors' eyes move during those first crucial seconds. Like a movie trailer that must hook viewers in moments, your website has one brief chance to capture attention. The heat maps reveal a striking pattern most business owners aren't aware of. Here's the exact pattern most visitors follow. They glance at your logo for about 0.3 seconds, just long enough to confirm what site they're on. Then they move to your headline, spending approximately 1.2 seconds. Next comes your hero image for about 1.5 seconds, followed by your primary call to action button, which gets about 2 seconds of attention. That's your window of opportunity. Visitors form their entire impression of your business before they've even scrolled down or clicked on anything. They're making decisions about your website and whether to stay or leave based solely on what they can see without any interaction. The eye-tracking heat maps provide visual proof of where visitors' attention goes first and the precise order in which they view your site elements. This understanding helps you prioritize what information needs to be immediately visible and clear. One thing that surprised me when analyzing the data was how little time visitors spent admiring design features. The pretty gradients, subtle animations, and fancy image carousels? Barely noticed. Instead, they were hunting for specific information that would answer their immediate questions. The biggest problem isn't your website isn't visually appealing enough. It's that it doesn't answer your visitors' core questions fast enough. When someone lands on your website, they need to immediately understand what you offer and why they should care. If they can't figure that out in those first few seconds, they're gone, probably forever. This is what I call the 5-second clarity test. Failing it is costing small businesses up to 60% of their potential customers. Now that you understand how quickly visitors judge your site, the real question becomes, what exactly are they looking for during those crucial seconds? The truth is, your potential customers are silently asking themselves 3 critical questions before they decide to stay or leave, and most small business websites completely miss answering them properly. When someone lands on your website, they're actively evaluating everything they see. Their subconscious processes your site's information at lightning speed to determine if they should invest more time exploring or hit that back button. Let's decode what's happening in your visitor's mind. The first question they're asking is, am I in the right place? This is fundamental. They need immediate confirmation that your website aligns with their search. Reviewing a local photography studio's website, there was beautiful imagery, but the headline simply said, welcome, forcing visitors to work harder to confirm that they found what they're looking for. This requires creating that immediate aha moment where visitors think, yes, this is exactly what I was searching for. Your headline needs to explicitly state what you do and who you serve. When that confirmation is missing, visitors assume they've landed in the wrong place and bounce instantly. As visitors continue scanning, their second question emerges. What exactly do you offer? Many business websites use vague statements or industry jargon instead of concrete descriptions. Visitors want clarity about your specific service or product. The third question flows naturally. Why should I choose you? This is where you communicate your unique value proposition, what makes your business different from your competitors that they could visit next. I recently watched a business owner's face fall when reviewing his analytics. They're leaving after 5 seconds, he said, but my design is beautiful. That's exactly the issue. What you feel is beautiful design can work against you when it fails to answer these critical questions. One client's website featured an elaborate animated intro that impressed colleagues but confused potential clients who just wanted to know if the company could solve their specific problem. The solution wasn't redesigning everything, it was ensuring that these 3 questions were answered clearly on first glance. While a beautiful design might impress colleagues, what actually convinces visitors to stay on your site happens in a very specific area, the space they see without scrolling at all. This above the fold section is essentially your digital storefront window, the only area of your website guaranteed to be seen by 100% of your visitors. Yet I'm constantly amazed by how many small businesses squander this prime digital real estate on elements that do nothing to convert visitors into customers. Most small business websites waste this critical space with giant stock photos that say nothing about their business, navigation menus that take up half the screen, or enormous image sliders that nobody clicks through. Every pixel in this area is valuable, and there's a specific formula for what should appear there. So after designing hundreds of successful small business websites, I've identified 5 essential elements that must appear above the fold to keep visitors engaged. First, your headline, the foundation of everything. It needs to explicitly state what you do and for whom in 8 words or less. For example, custom websites for service-based businesses immediately clarifies both what you offer and who you serve, whereas professional web solutions really tells visitors nothing. Second, the subheadline expands on your headline by explaining your unique value proposition. For instance, a local bakery could change their subheadline from quality baked goods to handcrafted pastries made fresh daily. Taste the difference. Their inquiry rate would increase significantly. Third, your primary call to action needs to stand out visually and offer a low commitment next step. For instance, a good CTA for a photography studio would be to switch from contact us to view our portfolio as their main button. Fourth, trust indicators establish immediate credibility. A home renovation company might add winners of 3 regional excellence awards above the fold and see conversion rates climb. Finally, include a relevant image that supports your message. When an accounting firm replaces their generic office photo with an image showcasing a relieved business owner, engagement increases substantially. What's fascinating is that through research, we've discovered the headline is by far the most critical element in this formula. A clear, outcome-focused headline can transform your website's performance, even if the design is relatively simple. The key is focusing on what the customer gets, not what you do. The great news is that implementing this formula doesn't require a complete website redesign. Often, it's simply a matter of rearranging elements you already have and refining your messaging to ensure your digital storefront immediately answers those critical questions every visitor asks within seconds of arriving. So, we've settled the age-old debate between pretty design and clear messaging, and the research doesn't lie. Websites focused on clarity consistently outperform those prioritizing aesthetics alone. Design matters significantly, but clarity trumps everything. When visitors can immediately understand what you offer and why it matters to them, they stick around. For small businesses, this clarity-first approach prevents losing precious visitors to confusion. Remember, 61% leave within the first 5 seconds if confused. A beautiful website without clear communication is like a maze with no exit. Visually impressive, but ineffective for growth. Have you redesigned your website for clarity? Share your experience below.